Okay, so we're live. There we go. A lot faster this time. The problem that I had is because I'm looking at the screen that's bringing up the video. Mm-hmm. Whereas like Zoom, it tells me that it's live, but I'm not looking at Zoom. I'm looking at the screen that's like loading, and that's why it's so weird and awkward. But anyway, so hello everybody that is watching us. I hope you guys are able to watch this afternoon. Hopefully you didn't have very much going on and you want to read with us. So I'm going to go through all of the lovely booktubers that we have here on the screen, and I'm just going to start with who's next to me. So Allie, you are first. You want to say your channel and what you're reading?
Yeah, so I'm Allie. I'm from Mrs. Dunn Reads. I read a lot of stuff besides fantasy because I'm still working my way into it. And I also do teacher content. Technically, I am teaching right now, but it's lunch, so it's fine. But for this live show, I'm just started the Bromance Book Club.
Oh my gosh, yes!
I know. I heard so many of you guys saying you loved this, so I'm not putting it off any longer. I'm going to start reading it. I got like one chapter in, so I'm on page 10.
Yay.
And I'm already loving the premise of it, so I'm so excited.
That's awesome. It's a big thanks to Gabby for telling me about it, but then I also get excited when other people are reading it too.
So good.
Yeah, it really is. Emily, you are next. Oh, and by the way, I have all the links down below in the description box for you guys if you want to check out each of these channels. So Emily, you're next.
Hi guys, my name's Emily and I'm from A Little Writer M, and I do like book videos about contemporaries, romance, thrillers, and also writing videos. And I'm just about to start a new book. I think I'm going to go for a NetGalley arc, and I've got the new Catherine Center book, which is called What You For, and I'm kind of tempted to read that. And I also have Where Dreams Descend by Janelle Angelis, and I'm really excited for that one. So I'll be reading one of them too. I don't know which yet.
Nice. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how the Catherine Center one is. I've only read one of her books, but I wasn't impressed yet.
Yeah, I think we read the same one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was the same one.
How to Walk Away.
I was like, yeah.
It was funny because with that one, the beginning I really liked, so I was like raving about it to Gabby, and I was like, you have to read this book. And then I finished it, and I was like, just kidding, forget what I said.
I like already ordered it, so then I was like, well.
So bad. I was like, oh. Next time I need to wait till I finish a book and then recommend it. Yeah. Amy, you're next.
Hi. So I'm Amy, and my channel is Amy Reads. This is my first Reads with Friends. So I'm very excited. So taking the dust jacket off, but I'm reading The Marriage of Opposites by Alice Hoffman, and I am 2/3 of the way through this already, and I chose to pick this one because I'm buddy reading it with someone and they finished it this morning. So I need to get on it and finish reading that one. I'm not super loving it.
No.
I'm hoping that this block of time where I can read will make me sit down and do it.
Yeah. Yep. We actually have another booktuber joining, so we'll let her hop in for a second. You guys all switch positions. I gotta figure out who I call on so far. Okay, we're gonna go to Molly. You're next.
Hi, I'm Molly from Mind of Molly. I'm currently reading a NetGalley arc called Q by Christina Doucher. She was the author of Vox. I don't know if anyone's heard of that.
Vox?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read that book and I just recommended it to my little sister.
Yeah, so she's got a new one coming out this year, which is just basically about like a society that thrives on perfection, and like you get Q numbers, and like the higher the Q number, the more
my gosh,
perfect you are.
Send me the Goodreads link.
Yeah, no, I will. But yeah, so I've got like 10% left of that, and then I'll probably read another one of my NetGalley arcs because I've got like 6. So I need to.
So you're almost finished with that one?
Yeah, I started it earlier. Yeah, it's so good. I only started it earlier today. It was so awesome. Good.
Cool.
Yeah, no.
I'm excited for that.
100%.
Cool.
Yeah.
Since you talked about the Grace year last year, like I've just been like seeing everybody talking about it, and my little sister just read it and she was like It was so good. You
Oh,
have to read it. Like,
Yay. 5 out of 5 stars I
My
gave it. It
friend's
was
letting me
so
borrow it.
good.
I
Yeah.
ordered mine the last Friends live show that we did. I ordered it that night. It was supposed to be delivered Monday. I never received it.
Oh,
And then I reordered it and it said it was supposed to be delivered today, like right before the live show. And then it
Oh
said, we
no.
had a problem delivering your book. I was like,
no. Oh no.
I don't know what's going on, but it's driving me insane.
It'll
That's
be so
crazy.
worth it when it does come though, because it was honestly really good.
I'm ready for it. I'm reading it because of Jackie's book club. And I'm like, I want
Yeah.
the book.
Yeah, I had my sister, like, since she finished it, I was like, okay, like, kind of explain it. I mean, without spoilers, I was like, kind of explain it so that I know whether I want to read it. And like, as soon as she was explaining it, I was like, why did I not prioritize this? Like, I need to read this. Yeah, so super excited about that. We should have read that one, Gwen, for the live show instead of
I already
Dry.
read it. I read it in
That's why, okay.
January and I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. But I'll just say, like, Molly was saying, we were talking about it last show. It's like, to me, like, The Giver is my favorite book of all time. So it's like the world of The Giver with the action of the Hunger Games for the grace year part. So if you liked the Hunger Games, if you liked
Yeah.
The Giver, you will like this book.
wait,
Okay.
The Giver not? I thought The
Yeah.
Giver. I can't even speak. I thought The Giver was like a classic. I didn't know it had anything to do with the Hunger Games type of theme.
Well, it doesn't. It's just that, like, the grace year, it's like the world of The Giver.
Like dystopian kind of
Kind of
Yeah.
like dystopian or utopian more
Yeah.
than dystopian, I think. But yeah, I just, it's like those two blended and it's just perfect.
Chanel, you should read The Giver. I would
Yeah.
love to know what you think.
It's so short.
I always thought it was like The Great Gatsby or something. I never looked at it.
No.
I just thought it was like
No.
a classic book. Like,
No, you should read it. It's like this big.
It's
so
you could
short.
read it like so quick.
okay, I'm definitely gonna look into that.
Nice.
Oh, I thought I
Uh,
just removed myself from the chat.
No. Gabby, you're next.
Okay, my name is Gabby. My channel is Gabby Reads, and today I'm gonna be reading Beach Read because I'm doing actually like a buddy read of this book with my mom and my sister right now, and so we're supposed to get to page 200 by tomorrow, and I'm on page 100 right now, so I'm just gonna read the 100 pages today. So
Nice.
Ooh, that book sounds so interesting.
Yeah,
it's really
I just
cute,
got my
so
book of the
far.
month copy. I've heard
yeah,
so ready to read it.
yeah, it's really cute so far. I'm loving it so much.
When does it actually come out? Like, when
I
is
think it comes out like May.
May 5th or whatever that, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
It's driving me crazy because everybody's talking about it and I want to read it so bad.
Yeah, Book of the Month has it now.
Yeah, they
Just
have
like
it now.
The month subscription. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to get it for Romance-a-thon. I think I'm gonna save it for that.
Oh yes, this would be a good one.
Yeah. I'm excited. Oh, hi Melanie. Melanie's in the comments.
I
Yeah.
know, I love you.
OMG Beach Read. She's at work right now, so she couldn't hop on.
Aw.
Sadly. Let's see, who is next? Gwen, you're next.
Okay, so I just started this morning, The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I'm only 15 pages in, well, 14 pages in, whatever. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews. I
I was like, as soon as you like held that up, I was like,
know Jackie was like, meh. But okay, so this is the thing. I put out like an April TBR, which I never do. And I was talking to Allie about this. I was like, dude, I don't think I want to read any of the books on my April TBR anymore. So I have this one, which, like I said, I started right before the live show. I have this one, which Jackie, I can't read this one. And then I have this one to read, obviously, but like I'm trying to save it closer to the end of the month.
me too, yeah.
And then I have this one, which was not on my April TBR, but Gabby raved about. And then
Yeah.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
Beach Read, which Gabby's reading, so I don't
Just put Sundown Motel down and pick one of those other two.
I think I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this, see what I think. But But I also want to read this poetry collection by Jen Campbell, also a booktuber, lover. And I didn't know, I thought this was her first poetry collection, but it's not. She has another one. Let me see. It's called The Hungry Ghost Festival. And April is actually National Poetry Month. So pick up some poetry, you guys. But yeah, I just want to support her. I haven't read any of her other books, surprisingly. So I'll probably read this and then read something else as well.
Sounds like a plan.
Guest list is great.
I have no idea what I'm reading.
Yeah, I just swapped for guest list. I just got it in the mail, but I'm visiting my sister.
Okay.
And so I'm going to like let her borrow it first because I put out a huge April TBR and I was like, no, I can't read. Like, I was like, I can't add to it. So I was like, here, you can read it first and then I'll get to it eventually. Because I can't make any promises about when I will eventually read stuff. So
You guys are talking about the guest list from the Book of the Month picks, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I started it. It's so good, but I had to leave because I was reading it and it was like somewhere else and I had to leave it there and I was like, no! And then I like saw that it's not out yet. And so I'm like, I guess I'll try to hold my memory of those 50 pages I read, or I'm just gonna, but it was really good. So
Yeah, I love the vibes of it because it's like an island and it's like kind of mysterious and spooky. Like, oh, I love it.
the cover, when I like got it, the cover looks so cool, like in real life, because it has a picture, like the bottom is like whatever it is on top of a mountain or something. I don't know. It's like really cool.
Yeah,
So
it's a beautiful cover.
it almost like the picture of it reminds me of like Shutter Island.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Dude, you
I
have
love
to
that
read
book.
it. Oh my God.
It's so good. I loved that book.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see. Kat, you are next.
Okay, well, I'm Kat. My channel is Kat Chats, and today I'm gonna start The Wives by Taryn Fisher.
Oh my God!
So Chanel and I have like complete opposite reactions. to
Bro,
the Wives.
not even just me and you. Me, you, and Jackie have different, like,
That's-
we're on the opposite team. Ooh! I hope you love it.
People either like love it or hate it. So
Yeah. I think it depends on like your experience with reading thrillers. Because I know Allie loves it because she was talking about how it's like she's pretty new to thrillers. So she was like, I love it. And I was like, if I was new too, I would love it. So I hope you like it though.
Are you just starting it?
yeah, I haven't even started it at all yet.
Okay, good. You'll like the first part.
Yeah, I agree. The first half is like really good.
Like, yeah, you're for sure gonna like the first 50%, like guaranteed. It's the rest that will
Oh no.
determine. So
Don't let them know. Just read it. Just read it. You'll figure it out.
My back.
Yes, you're back, Molly.
Oh, my internet hates me.
It's okay. We let you back in because we like you.
Thanks.
Let's see who is next. Anytime someone leaves or comes back, it like switches everybody, and I'm like, wait, where did everyone go? Like, I don't know who's next. Lisa, let's do you next.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm from the channel Lisa Marie Reads, and I'm gonna be reading Crooked Kingdom today.
Still need to
Yeah.
read that. Don't tell me.
I'm still on page 50 of that book, so
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, page 50, so not too far.
it was like in October, and I don't know, I got so distracted. It's a good book though.
Yeah, I'm excited to read that. I like Six of Crows a lot, so I'm hoping I like that one.
Six of Crows was amazing.
What type of books do you read the most? Like, what are your favorite genres?
I normally read fantasy mostly, sometimes contemporary and sci-fi, but mostly fantasy.
Nice. Amy, I think I forgot to ask you that. What your favorite genres are?
I think contemporary, and I like some like speculative type of stuff, or like contemporary with a little magical element. I like some like light sci-fi. I'm not a big fantasy reader. I'm not like anti-fantasy. It'd have to be like the right one to really hook me. But more contemporary and like magical.
Okay. I wanted to ask for the people that don't know much about your channels so they know what you guys like reading.
Amy, do you like reading like sad contemporary?
I mean, any kind. Yes. I find that I read, like, I'll read any kind of contemporary, and of course I love like just a really fluffy type of but and then I'll find like that my favorite books are always the harder hitting.
Oh, man. You should, I don't know if you've read it already, but you should check out The Astonishing Color of After.
Yes, that's one of my favorite like
I'm
YA
not
books.
surprised then. If you like that kind of theme, I'm not surprised you really love
Oh
that.
my god. That book destroyed me. I just read A Million Junes by Emily Henry.
Oh, I've read that.
I read that, and that had, I mean, different stories had like a similar where you have like a young adult who's dealing with like their parent having died, and there's magical events. Probably more so in A Million Junes. Both of those books just destroyed me though. Like, just laid in bed sobbing.
I remember reading.
I was like, I love it so much.
And I was literally bawling. I couldn't. I was like,
oh, and then like I like to read the like author's notes or like acknowledgments at the end of a book. Even if I've not cried in the book, I will always get teary in the acknowledgments when they just talk about all the people. Book, I know she talks about like suicide, you know, like awareness and prevention and all this stuff, and as if I wasn't already emotional enough, the acknowledgments of that book just
I couldn't even read those. I was too emotional. I was like, okay, close the book at the end.
I remember in both instances, that and A Million Junes, my husband had already fallen asleep, and so I'm literally laying there with like a book, like shaking the bed with my sobs, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't wake up. Like I was like trying to keep it together. It wasn't happening.
Yes, Chantel, let's do you next.
Hey everyone, I'm Chantel from the channel K Books. I'm reading a romance this time. I'm reading Fly With Me by Chanel Cleaton.
Oh my gosh.
I love a fighter pilot.
Fighter? Oh my god. I'm just kidding.
I'm on page chapter 2, so I just started it last night, so I'm excited.
And it's the middle of the night for Chantel, so in case she falls asleep, we're all gonna forgive her.
I tried to read a romance, so I couldn't fall asleep because it's hot and steamy.
That's funny. Chanel, you're next.
Ooh, cool. Okay. So I'm Chanel from the channel Chanel Time.
Yeah, you are.
Wait, do we still say what kind of genre we read, or is that for?
Yeah, you can.
Well, I am in a huge reading slump right now, which sucks. So I feel like the only genre that's saving me is thriller, or like mystery / thriller. So yeah, I will be reading this book called Death by the Book. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like a 1930s murder mystery. This guy is, I don't know if you guys know Hercule Poirot, the Miss Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot. He's like this Belgian detective. So this is basically like a younger, hotter version of him, but not Belgian. Yeah, I think it's like a British. It's really interesting. It's like a whole series, and I accidentally bought the second one. But apparently, you can read them out of order, so I'm gonna do that because I'm ready for some murder.
Sounds interesting.
Man, that teacup is as big as your head.
Boy.
My sister like gave me this for Christmas or my birthday, I can't remember, and I was like, yes, my addiction.
Kira, you're next.
Make sure I'm not muted again. Okay, so well, I guess quite similar to Amy, I'd say my favorite genre is like contemporary, but on like the darker side. So like some of my favorites are anything by Sally Rooney. I love Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, and also me and Emily read A Little Life Together. I think we had quite different opinions of it, but I loved it, so that's kind of like my favorite. But today I'm actually reading a classic because I've just started Emma by Jane Austen. I'm about 100 pages in, and I'm reading it because I really want to watch the new like movie version that's just come out. So I'm really enjoying it so far because I think for like a classic, she's got like a very fun way of writing, which I really enjoy.
Oh, that's on my TBR, so I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, it's really good so far. Like I said, I'm probably about a third of the way in, but it's really good.
Oh, phew. I feel like I've been having the worst experiences with classics, even though I've only like read one of them.
Yeah, I'm like too afraid. I read classics in school and then I was like, that's not for fun anymore. I don't want to do that.
Many. I just remember reading, I don't know if Brave New World is a classic, but I remember reading that and I was like, what is this?
I hate that book.
I mean, I quite like Brave New World, but it is very unusual. It's
Yeah,
crazy
I
to think that
loved
it was written in the 1930s, though.
Yeah, I really like Brave New World, but I was like, who sits down and like thinks about writing something like this?
That is dystopians for you, I guess. But I mean, I guess with classics, it just depends, because I think classic is such a broad term. Like you could have like classic horror, thriller,
True.
like fantasy, anything. So like just read whichever genre you like in contemporary, but find the classic version, and that's probably like a good place to start.
You should
Sure.
read To Kill a Mockingbird. That was one of the classics they made us read in high school that
I
I was
love
like, this
that.
book sucks. And then I read it my freshman year of college and I was like, oh my gosh. Amazing.
I've heard like To Kill a Mockingbird, you definitely have a way different experience reading it as an adult.
Yeah,
And
it's way
I
different.
remember in high school I was reading it and I was like, why are they making us read this?
Well, I think that's so much with like all the classics that we read in high school. I mean, like, think about how you were when you were 14, 15, 16. Like, I am a very different reader than I was then. And I have more life experience. And it's hard to appreciate certain things like that when you're that. I mean, it's hard to appreciate it even now just because the language is so different.
Yeah.
When you're
I
reading
have
it that
the
young. So, I mean,
graphic-
there's books like I didn't enjoy Brave New World, but I was 15 when I read it.
Yeah, I think
That
like
was 17 years ago.
thing. For me, I feel like because I read in high school, but I only read things that I was forced to read. And then I didn't read anything at all, literally all throughout from like my junior year of high school up until my senior year of college. I didn't read like a single book. I think I might have read 2 books in all those years. So now I'm like catching up to everything people were reading and I'm like, what is this? Like I barely just read The Hunger Games.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Like The Hunger Games was like so popular, and then I read it like 4 like years later, and then I was like, oh, I love this.
I still haven't read it. When I read this book, and then I like tweeted about it or something. I was like, oh my god, have you guys read this book? I just discovered it. It's so good. And people were like, this came out like 10 years ago when we all did. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go back to my corner.
Yeah, I read like 50 Shades of Grey like way after it was popular too, just because I was like, I heard about this book a lot, and it was right when I was getting back into reading, so I was like, I'll just read this one since everyone talked about it. I don't know.
Wait, Allie, what were you saying?
I said that's totally your brand though, to be reading books we all read like 10 years ago.
Yeah, man, like I was so embarrassed that I thought Twilight was released in the 90s. I don't know why. I'm like a fool. I tweeted that and I was like, oh my god, Twilight has such a good 90s vibe. And someone was like, dude. I don't know why I thought it came out in the 90s. Like I genuinely thought that. Yeah, what a disaster.
That's funny. All right, Alex, you're next. So you can tell us your channel name, what like videos you like to do on your channel, or like genres you read on your channel, and then what you're currently reading.
Hi, I'm Alex from the channel Hooked on Books, and I read a pretty good mix of YA and adult, mostly contemporary, hard-hitting, sad books usually. And what I'm going to be reading today is I'm going to start In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. I have not started this one yet, and I'm excited to get into it.
That one.
So I've heard a lot of good things.
I want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
That one was good. It's also, I feel like, just a good book to read like right now. It's like
Yeah, definitely.
not super like in depth. Yeah.
Right, and it's not even 300 pages long, so that's going to be a good thing.
Yeah. Emily, right? I didn't get you yet, did I? Or did I get you?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay. Did I get everybody? I forget. You all changed places so much. Okay, so I guess I didn't leave anyone out. I am, well, for those of you that don't know me or don't know my channel, and this is your first time on my channel, I'm Jacqueline or Jackie from We Be Bookin', and I read mostly thrillers, I would guess romance would come second after that, but I like the more like emotional, hard-hitting romance. I'm not like a big smut person, even though I'm gonna tell you guys what book I'm about to read. And then I like also like dystopian type of things. But yeah, that's pretty much, I guess that's all I really read. I'm going to be reading, actually, I've already started it. I am 79 pages in, and I'm reading The Girl in 6E.
I love that book.
It's so weird. Like, I like it because it's so different, but like, it's like, so it's about this girl who has the urge to kill like everybody. So she locks herself into her apartment, and the way she makes money is she's like a porn star cam girl, and just reading about like how all of that works and just like everything that she does. It's like funny. Like, it's not like smutty as in like you're reading about like a couple like getting it on and you're like, oh wow, like this is happening. It's like so funny, and it's like, wow, do people actually talk like this? Like, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. So like this book is weird and out there, but I'm enjoying it. I'm like flying through it actually because I just started it last night, so I'm hoping to get through a bunch of it today. Gwen, you said you liked it?
Yeah, I read all 3 of the books. She said that the author said she's willing to put out more books if people want them, and I would love for her to put out more books. I was shocked when I saw this on your TBR, and then when you like put, because I know you don't like certain things, and it's not that it's bad. I mean, I think you'll enjoy it. It's just it goes there sometimes because she is a cam girl. So
yeah,
I was like,
it's
how
crazy.
You're reading this live. I'm like, yes. Do I read or do I watch Jacqueline read? Because I really want to see. But it's so good, and it does go really fast. And the other books that follow it are good as well. So I hope she writes more. So
yeah, I'm not a big series person, so like I picked this book up and I like, my goal is just to read this one, but I don't know, maybe I would be open to like continuing it depending on like how much I like this one. But yeah,
I mean,
it's so weird.
I've
I've never read
that one. You definitely could just read that one and enjoy it. But I mean, I enjoyed it so much. I was like, I need to know where this is going.
Yeah.
I'm already interested.
So the other books like are about her still though?
Well, I don't want to tell you. That might spoil it.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I just don't like, I don't like series where like for instance, the Bromance Book Club, like I went to the second one, but it was like about a totally different couple. And like, I want to read about the people that I like to read about.
Exactly. That's why I was like, when I did that author taste test of Penelope Douglas, I said, I'm interested in her standalones, but I don't know about her series if they're like that, if they follow like sister brothers or friends or whatever. So I'm not really a fan of that either. Yeah. Maybe that clues you in if you should.
One author that does that well, in my opinion, from what I've noticed, is Helen Huang. She wrote.
Oh yeah.
She does. I think she does the whole like series following.
Yes, because I love both of her books. So you're right.
Yeah. But then I read, what was it? It was like this book about some girl who was a clown. She wanted to be like a professional clown or something.
Fix Her Up.
Yeah, Fix Her Up. And then the second was like about the best friend and his life, and it's kind of like I don't really. Like, I didn't like him in the first book. But I mean, I'm still going to read it.
Well, I'm wondering how it is like that book, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And the other one's like her sister. And I'm wondering how
there's going to be one for each
I hope that's good because I really enjoyed the first one.
Another author,
so good.
Another author that does it really well is Beverly Jenkins.
Ooh.
I know her. She's a romance author.
Like the sports series or something. Wait, that might not be her.
I know
no.
Destiny's Embrace is the first book I've read by her, but the second one she did it really well again, and it was like the brother of the guy in the first book, but it was just as good.
I'll have to try some out because I read Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry, and then I tried reading Landon and Shay, which was like the second one, but it was about like the friends, and I just no. Like I want to read about like the couple that I love in the first book, and I want to see their relationship later in life, not just like end it there and then be like, well, that's cool. But I'll have to see if I can find more sequels that are like that. Okay, so I got everybody. I think that this is the perfect time. We're gonna start our hour reading. So all of us that are on here, we're gonna mute so we don't like irritate each other with sounds, and we will unmute at 2:30 my time, which is Eastern Standard Time, but just an hour from whatever time period you're in right now. So yeah, and everybody that's watching, you guys can let us know in the comments like what you guys are reading during this hour, because we can pay attention. Now that we're not talking, we can pay attention a little bit more to like what you guys say you're reading, and then you guys can read along with us. And when we unmute, we'll take 30 minutes or so to talk about what we read and what books we're liking, or if we're not liking them or whatever. So we will see you guys in an hour. What's up, everybody?
Jacqueline, you better start because
I feel like I'm reading like Cosmopolitan or like a sex manual or something.
I'm so confused. I was actually reading this time.
Yeah, I didn't read that till recently.
Yeah, Chanel, I saw you. I was like, look at her.
I can't believe it. I read 62 pages.
You look so scholarly with your glasses like that. I was like,
Look at me. Yes. Martha's glasses are really popping off.
Okay, let's start with you, Allie.
oh, okay. I got 53 pages in, and I freaking love this book already. I'm obsessed. So I didn't realize that there was going to be actual like romance novel throughout. And I guess if you don't know this, the premise of this is like to win his wife back, he joins this bromance book club where they learn from historical romances how to treat their wives and how to like woo their wives pretty much. It's so freaking cute. I am really excited to keep reading. I feel like I'm going to fly through this. The only person I'm not really liking right now is her sister. What is her name? I don't even know.
Liv.
Yeah, Liv. She just seems really like anti-man.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was the problem I had with the second book because it's about Liv.
Oh, yeah. I'm already not interested in her. I'm kind of like, if you went away, then things would be a lot easier already. And I'm only 50 pages in. So
yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it.
I feel like she's a hard character to relate to, in my opinion.
I don't know too much about her yet, but also just like what they've mentioned of their parents, I'm like, ooh. I can understand why Theo would be so quick to be like, okay, let's just end it now while our kids are young, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because of how they grew up and stuff. But it's so good.
It's so heartbreaking, but it's also so cute. Like I just love that the book is like him trying to woo his wife back. I'm glad that it wasn't just like get a divorce was the right answer.
Yeah,
you know
I think
what I mean?
It's very different too. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think I've read a book like this before. Most romance books are like people getting together, not the aftermath of like having a marriage. There are always rough patches in every marriage and how to like work through the rough patches kind of thing. And being married, I'm like, this is so relatable because nobody's marriage is perfect. So I think I'm gonna love this. I'm already thinking it's gonna be 5 stars just based off the writing style, and the characters, and the actual guys in the book club, all their personalities. I'm like, this is gonna be just so good.
I would love to see more. That's like one of my pet peeves is like, I want to see more romance books that are written about married couples, because I think that's why I like don't like a lot of romance books, is because like you can only read so much about like, you know, people getting together, but then you never get to read about like once they're together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It makes it seem like everything just continues to be fine and dandy. Like the hardest part is getting married. That's not true. The hardest part is staying married.
Right. Yeah. And getting through those hard times.
Right.
That's why I hate like at the end of romance books when they're always like, they have that like little like epilogue thing where it's like 15 years later and like, oh, they had like 4 kids and like everything's so great and dandy and they got How to Walk Away did that. And I was like, no.
They're all like having a picnic under a tree.
Yeah.
And all the kids are well behaved. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Exactly.
That actually reminds me of the epilogue in the 50 Shades series.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why they do that.
They had a totally normal relationship after that. And
yeah, exactly.
Had like 3 beautiful children, and he didn't like slap her ass anymore, and it was fine. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Gwen, how's your book going?
Well, I read this first because, and it actually took me a while to read it. It's only 66 pages.
Wait, what
And
is
of course, it's the poetry collection by Jen Campbell. It's called The Girl Aquarium. This is the first time I've read anything by her. So, and I know she writes like fiction and nonfiction and children's books and all of that. So, yeah, it was interesting. There were some really, wow, I was like, she went there. It was kind of disgusting a little bit at times, but it's told in 3 parts. I really enjoyed the first part. Like, I was like, wow, this is going to be a 5 out of 5 stars. And then the second and third parts weren't my favorite. The second part I didn't really like at all. And then the third part, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. So I'm going to probably rate this like 3 out of 5 stars. And then I just picked this up because it was right there. And I read one more chapter in this, but mainly this. So
how are you liking You're Not Alone?
Well, I'm only this much into it. So I'm not very far at all. I'm only on page 57. So I've only read like a couple, chapter 11. I just finished chapter 11. It's okay. It actually reminds me a lot of the book Dietland about the stories are totally different, but the part where she like meets the group or whatever, it kind of reminded me about how the main character met a group in Dietland. And I was like, and I don't know what this group is about right now. And I guess that's like the main, I'm like, what is this
I was
group?
gonna say, do you even know what's happening yet at 57 pages?
I don't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, so that's why I'm like, I want to keep reading to know, but I'm like, should I just watch someone's vlog and find out? But yeah, so I don't know if I'm enjoying it.
I still don't even know what the book was about. So
yeah, so I don't know.
I enjoyed the first half of that book, and I enjoyed the not knowing what was going on and where we were going, and I thought that really kept my attention. I hated the end of that book.
Well, I recently read The Dilemma by B.A. Paris, and I actually did a review for it and everything, so it'll be coming out soon. But I actually said in that review, there's a difference between like building suspense and like keeping the reader guessing and then just flat out teasing me. I don't like being teased. Like, I need something to feel invested. That way, when you give it to me, I'm there with you. But if you tease me and pull
reveals,
I need
as you go, like, you know, kind of.
Yeah, I need to have some
sound
type
effects
of emotional. I need some type of emotional connection so that when the bigger things happen, I actually care rather than just going, oh, that was it. So what? Throw it out the window because nothing. So far, I'm just being teased, and I don't know how long I could be teased for. So.
I don't know, like I don't know why I'm so excited to read that book, because I have like barely enjoyed any books by those 2 authors. I think I really semi-enjoyed The Life Between Us. I gave that one 4 stars. I mean, I thought actually it was great, but then An Anonymous Girl was just kind of like. Okay.
I felt the same way. I really liked The Wife Between Us, and The Anonymous Girl.
That book was just, I felt like they just added a whole bunch of things, and then they were like,
too much.
It's over.
Yeah, I agree.
Even that one also had a very underwhelming ending.
Yeah.
Like, I remember feeling, I think I initially gave An Anonymous Girl 4 stars, but it would be a 3 upon like thinking about it.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
for me,
like I remember feeling like there were times when I felt really like tense reading it, and I thought, ooh, okay. But then it just like completely unravels, I feel like, in the last half. And I've not read The Wife Between Us, but I've read their other 2.
I feel like I'm expecting the storyline to get dark, but it never fully gets there. Because I think in An Anonymous Girl, I was waiting for something like super dark to happen. And so, yeah, it's just not dark enough.
Than what you think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in that one, you were like, oh, this is what's happening? Oh, yeah, it is. Like, there was no...
right.
And, like, you found out, like, 70% of the way through, basically, what was happening. and then you just have to read the last 30%. And I'm like, I don't even want to say anything about the end of You Are Not Alone.
Yeah,
I hated it.
Yeah, it's it's pretty bad.
Oh wow.
I really like
Like,
it, but I feel like I'm the only one.
Okay.
You
so
liked
there's
it?
hope. There's hope.
yeah, you may love it. I didn't.
Yay, because I remember reading The Wife Between Us and I was just so shook at the plot twist. I was literally in an elevator listening to audiobook and I went, oh! Everyone like looked at me and I was like, then another score was just kind of like meh. So I kind of have hope, but then I don't. I don't know.
It's funny. I hated The Wife Between Us. I gave it 1 star.
Me too.
I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about this one, but I really liked it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't wait to hear what you think about it, Gwen.
Yeah, if I finish, we'll see.
Yeah. Lisa, you're next.
Okay. I read about like 40 or so pages of Crooked Kingdom, and it's good so far. I don't really feel like much has happened yet. Like they're still setting up for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good so far, so I'm excited to continue.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't have any commentary because I don't read any fantasy. I'm sorry.
Okay. Like with that book, I read Six of Crows the first time and I really didn't like it. I just thought it was like average, but I'm not like a huge fantasy reader either.
Yeah.
But I think at the time that I read it, I was reading more fantasy. So I read Six of Crows, didn't really like it, got a lot of hate from the community about it, whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I wanted to read Crooked Kingdom, but I waited so long to read Crooked Kingdom. So I went back and I read Six of Crows and I enjoyed it like 10 times more. So I didn't give it 5 stars or anything. I gave it like 4 stars, which is still really good. But I think that I enjoyed it because I knew what I was expecting, because I think that the synopsis kind of lies. It's like it's this heist story. It's like, is it really a heist story? Because it's like such a small part of the book. So on reread, I liked that better. And then when I read Crooked Kingdom, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Crooked Kingdom, so I'm very excited to continue with that one.
I think I have like the unpopular opinion about Six of Crows. Like, I thought the first 100 pages were really boring, and then I started getting into it, and then I really loved it from there. But I felt like I enjoyed reading the Grisha trilogy more than I enjoyed reading Six of Crows. I don't know if you've read the Grisha trilogy.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Six of Crows is definitely way better written, and it's way, like, you can tell her writing just got way better. But I think because, like, as someone who like really likes to read for enjoyment and entertainment, I feel like I enjoyed the Grisha trilogy so much more. But I think Six of Crows is like really well written. But that's why I'm like waiting on Crooked Kingdom, because I know I'm gonna be bored for like half of it. I'm like, no, can I just get an audiobook, please?
Lisa, did you read the Grisha trilogy?
I did. I read it last year for the first time.
And what did you think?
I thought it was all right. I think it was interesting, but I didn't really like a lot of the characters. And I think that's why I like Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows more, is because I actually like the characters a lot more. So
yeah. I thought the first book was good. It was decent enough. The second book, it was so bad. It was so boring. I was reading it like a few years ago, but it was like during my Christmas break. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, kill me now, because I can't take it anymore. And it was just so bad. And then I continued on in the trilogy. And the third book, the first half, I was just like, why am I subjecting myself to this? But then I really liked the second half of the book. So I was like, okay, it was worth it. It was worth it. But
I want to like rename, in my brain, I rename Siege and Storm, Siege and Struggle, because but like my favorite in the whole series was the very last book, because I got the ending I wanted. Everything was exactly what I wanted. And then I just feel like I do like the characters in the Grisha trilogy more, because they're like younger and they're like making a lot of messes, and it's kind of like, of course they're gonna make all these messes because they're like, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. But then the Crows are like supposed to be these mature, like, even though they are still like young, are they like 18 or something?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be like these mature, crazy. And also I don't like Kaz. So I think that's why.
I love Kaz, but like I feel like the reason why you probably are attached to the characters in the Grisha trilogy more is there's less characters, there's less main characters.
Yeah.
Where in, you know, the Cricket Kingdom and all of that, there's too many characters.
Like, why? Every time it was this part, I was like just scared. Like I only liked him at the end of the book, and I was like, man, now we wasted all this time. That's probably it, because there's less people.
Amy, how's your reading going?
So I got 34 pages. Y'all, this book.
Oh. That's not a good sign.
Okay, it's historical fiction, which I enjoy sometimes, depending on like what it is, the time in history, all that kind of stuff. This is historical fiction in the 1800s in like St. Thomas. And it's just, I've liked a lot of Alice Hoffman books before, and so I picked this one up for like $1 and I've been buddy reading it. And it's a slog. It's only 365 pages. And I read for an hour and I read 34.
Oh, I hate that.
So I have 103 pages left, so that'll take me 2 weeks, you know. But reading like 2.5 pages a day. I mean, it was fine. It's fine. The main protagonist, we follow her for the first several chapters, then we start following different characters. And then we end up like in France. And so I've actually started enjoying the second half better because I can't stand the protagonist. So the more that we are like not following her anymore, the better the book is. So, I mean, it's like between a 2 and a 3. So, but I got 34 more pages read. So, you know, it's a win.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't take you too long.
Every night when I go to bed, I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna read this damn thing. Okay.
I know. I hate when I feel that way towards feeling.
And I mean, like, I'm gonna finish it because I'm already 2/3 of the way through. My friend already finished it, but I'm not afraid to DNF a book. I don't know how other people feel, but man, if I feel that way about a book, I'm like, life's too short. I'm not gonna make myself read it. Yeah. And sometimes this is a temporary, like this is just, I'm not in the mood for it. Yeah. Or, I'm going to put this back on my shelf. Like I'm not in the right headspace. And then sometimes you're like, no, this book just sucks.
Yeah. So. Kira, how is your book going?
Good. I'm about 150 pages into, and I'm really enjoying it still. I think my pace for this was a little bit slower than it would be in like contemporary, just because there are many characters. But for basically rich with the matchmaking person, and she's kind of just like trying to put all friends and acquaintances together in marriages, but it's quite light and lighthearted.
Mm-hmm. What was the book that you were reading again?
Emma.
Okay, sorry, you're like breaking up a little bit, so I'm hearing like every other word. So
I'm sorry, I think my internet connection is not very good, but basically I'm enjoying it.
Okay, you can also put it in the comments, and then I can read what you like in the chat, so people know what you're reading and what your thoughts are, because I don't know if they're gonna catch what you said.
Okay.
I'm sorry that your internet is not like being good right now. I'm sorry. Chanel, you're next.
Oh, okay. So as I mentioned, I was reading Death by the Book, and I got to page 62. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Oh, this is definitely going to be like a 5-star read. So basically this guy there's been like 2 murders so far, and he's trying to figure out like who is killing these people. And because people are like being murdered with these like letters kept on them, like somebody leaves a note, and they like also have a book because it's Death by the Book. I don't know how to explain this, but it's so good. And he's like trying to get married to this girl he's in love with, but then her aunt's like, no, you can't marry her, she's only 22. And she's like, I'm gonna snatch her back to America. And he's like, but I love her. And she's like, your British ways are not gonna tempt my niece. Like, so good because they live in this, like, I don't know what it is with me in like small British towns. Maybe it's because like my grandma lives in a small British town, so I'm like really obsessed with that, like close knit, like everyone's riding their bikes. So it's just like a really.
And wait, it sounds like they're in quarantine.
I like to just imagine life is better in those quaint little British towns. Like, I'm like, if only I lived there, my life would be better. Everything would be perfect.
It feels nostalgic because every time I visit my grandma, I just see like a whole bunch of old people minding their business, like walking down the street, and it just
Perfect.
That. And it's like you can already tell it's a good mystery because people are like, "Yo, let's go watch, let's go stalk," and the constable. I'm living. I was so happy because I was like in a huge slump, and now I'm just so happy.
That's good. I'm glad that you're enjoying that. Someone in the comments was asking you, Amy, what book were you reading again? What was the title of it?
Oh, sorry. It's called The Marriage of Opposites by Alice Hoffman.
Okay. I just knew you said historical fiction, so I couldn't remember it, but
yeah,
hopefully
which Alice Hoffman wrote my favorite book of last year, and I also 5-starred another one of her books this year. So this just ain't it, you know.
Cool.
What was your favorite book of last year?
The Rules of Magic.
Alex, you're next.
Yeah, so I started in 5 years, and I'm like flying through this. I'm on page 90. So this is going super fast, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But like the beginning kind of gave me whiplash a little bit because we're starting out, she's in 2020, and then she goes to 2025 in this dream for like 5 minutes, and then we come back to 2020, and then it skips 4.5 years in the future. And when she's actually like gonna come into what she thinks is gonna be her new life. And so that one kind of threw me for a loop. But now we're kind of on solid ground, and I'm really curious to see this guy that she's supposedly going to end up with. It's not her original fiance. We've met him, but not a whole lot. I don't feel like we've gotten a whole lot out of him so far. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen, but I'm flying through this one really quick. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah, I would love to see more books written kind of with that like storyline where it's like alternate realities or like, you know, just things like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting so far, so I'm enjoying it.
Have you read Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid?
No, but it's on my list. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I want to.
Oh my God, I love that one.
Yeah, me too. If you like In 5 Years, then you should definitely go and read that one because then I thought like, well, I read Maybe in Another Life first, but that was 5 stars, and then In 5 Years was like 4 stars. So
yeah, they give me the same vibe definitely. So I'll have to pick that one up.
Yeah.
Has anyone read The Two Lives of Lydia Bird yet?
I have.
Okay,
it's currently a DNF for me at the moment.
Oh no! Okay, it's on my April TBR. I was excited about.
Don't do it.
Really?
No, I gave it 2 stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a review on my channel you can check out.
Okay. Well.
Links in the description box.
I don't really want to watch a review till I've read it, but okay.
Well, it's like it doesn't really have spoilers. It just talks about. But anyway, yeah, give it a go. But I'm just saying, if you're not liking it in the beginning, it pretty much stays the same throughout. So it's up right there.
Okay. Duly noted.
I think it's mostly the writing style for me. Like I'm gonna try and get through it later on, but like right now, I didn't want to put myself in a reading slump, so I'm gonna like wait and then read it. But like, yeah, the writing style was just not.
Did you like One Day in December?
I loved it. I gave it 5 stars.
Okay, me too. So
I loved it, but this, and I think Jackie and I talked about this, like this writing felt more British to me, but also more like debut to me. Like this, like One Day in December was just, it captivated me right from the beginning. I really liked it. I liked the characters. I liked the story. I liked the buildup of the drama with the friendship and stuff like that. This one just, no, this was not it.
Okay.
I haven't read One Day in December yet, but I do own it. I just didn't get to it this past Christmas, and I just cannot read a Christmas book if it's not Christmas time. So
that book is weirdly, it's not very Christmassy.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because it literally spans 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So it starts out at Christmassy time and it ends at Christmassy time.
But the middle is
it's not a Christmas. I mean, yeah, I understand you want to read it during that time, but you really wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Gabby, Everyone in the comments has been like asking you about beach reads, so enlighten them.
Yeah, I got to page 173 on chapter 16 now, and it's still really cute. I'm finally like getting to the like cute stuff, you know, because I feel like this book is kind of like hate to love vibes in the beginning. Like they're just like really cute. Like they have like a lot of like banter and they kind of pick on each other, and it's like, you know, they're really like competitive with each other because they're like swapping genres for the summer. Like if you don't know anything about it, it's like she writes romance and he writes literary fiction, but they're both in like a slump, like a writing block, and so they decide to swap genres for the summer.
What?
And, yeah, it's so cute, and like it's kind of like hate to love vibes because they're like always picking on each other, and he's like making fun of like her love for romance, and she's like making fun of his like boring attitude about the world. Like I don't know, it's really cute, and I'm loving it so much. I'm like about like halfway through it now, but I love it.
I want it.
Okay.
So it's like nice hate to love. It's not just like evil hate to love.
No, it's like they're just like kind of like picking on each other. Like their banter is just great. Like it's so fun to read about.
Okay, I'm like so particular about that. So
yeah,
I want to read the book, but then I'm scared.
I love too.
You said you do love it?
No, I said I'm really picky with hate to love too. It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be like true hatred. It can't be like you're annoying and hot. It needs.
Well, no, we have the opposite problem where like I don't want people to hate each other. I'm like, don't be mean. Like you're supposed to be nice. That's the whole point of romance.
True. Like when I read The Hating Game, and it was just like the main characters being like, "You're kind of annoying, but you're really attractive." I was like, "That's not hate to love. That's just like thinking someone's hot." Like,
I despised The Hating Game. Like
Me
I do
too.
not
The Hating
like that
Game was
book.
one of my favorites.
I love
Oh
it. Yeah.
my god, I hated it so much.
Oh, thank God, someone else, because like everyone always
Just
they do
read
not
that in
like
like
that. I don't.
February.
it.
I don't understand why it's a favorite, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Every second, like
it's like the hate to love must read. I don't get that part. 'Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
they didn't really hate each other.
they didn't.
It
They
was
were
like
so
that
attractive.
was it was just sexual tension, like, and they would be so like, ugh, I hate you, and I was like, why? Like there was literally no, oh god.
And then it was called The Hating Game, and I'm like, you literally didn't hate anything about this.
Also,
Someone in the comments
So-
said, "I love hot, annoying people."
Don't we all?
The Hating Game is
I-
one of my favorite books, and I actually just bought it for Em for her
Oh my
birthday.
god.
I love The Hating Game.
It's funny because I was looking at Emily's list and I was like, "Ew, I'm not buying her that book."
It's like 350 pages of foreplay.
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook, so I
I was
honestly
like, are you all gonna yet? Or
Yeah, but I live for the foreplay. Like I love that.
Yeah, same.
no,
That's what I'm here for.
I mean, I
Gabby's
like
quote
that.
of the day: "I
Yeah.
live for
I
the
live for
foreplay."
the foreplay.
Yeah.
I also like Chanel earlier when she goes, "I'm ready for some murder," and I thought, there's Chanel's 2020 mood. I'm ready for some murder.
like whenever people are like, "Oh, what kind of Netflix shows do you like?" I will watch anything that has to do with murder and crime. Like I can't
You're
watch.
like, has someone been brutally murdered? Check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Criminal Minds. Okay, Law and Order.
Mhm. All of them. Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
No, I like the foreplay in the books too, but that book, what? It was the whole. I literally looked, and they don't have sex till you're 60 pages from the end, and I was like, this.
Yeah, the whole book was just
I was like, y'all are two consenting adults, and you can't quit just rubbing each other's legs. Like, just do it. I don't know. It was just annoying.
I do think it was funny. Though.
Well, then you should definitely read The Girl in 60. You would love it.
They're fucking on page 5 in this book.
Emma, you really excited to read The Hating Game now?
Sorry. Hey, obviously, like, that's not the popular opinion. I mean, that book is beloved. So
Yeah, I know. Everyone loves that.
I'm the unpopular.
We definitely have
opinion.
unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
For that one.
Yeah.
It's popular on this live show.
Well, maybe. Sorry. Your opinions are valid.
Don't take anything we say seriously, people. All right, Chantel, you're next.
Well, there's nothing slow in Fly With Me on page 46. And I have 3 brooding hot fighter pilots. So
Yes.
I'm awake, let me tell you. I had to sit up because I was like, ooh. Oh, but it's good so far. I'm actually really enjoying it. So
That's
yay.
good.
Yeah.
And what's the name of it again?
Fly With Me by Chanel Cleedon.
Okay. I realized that if some people didn't come to the beginning of when we were saying we were reading it, then we're like raving about books and they're like, wait, what is this book? Emily, you're next.
So, first of all, I just wanted to say, when Chanel was saying, I feel like if you grew up in a small British town, everything would be okay. I was like watching me, Kira, and Molly, like, we grew up in small British towns. But I read...
And then I'm like, bye, see y'all later.
I started reading Where Dreams Descend, which is like pitched as a fantasy Phantom of the Opera, kind of like Caraval, and I really liked Caraval, so I started reading that, and I got 10% in, and it's quite hard going at the beginning because they're just setting the scene, but I think I am going to really like this book once I'm fully into it.
Well, good. So you didn't get to go to the Catherine Center book, you just read the one, right?
Yeah, I was planning on moving books, but I need to address why I was laughing for half of the live show.
I looked up and Emily was like, I was like, what are you laughing at?
So my uncle sent me a video, and it was like one of those videos which looks like it's gonna be really funny, and then there's a jump scare at the end. I jumped out of my skin, and then rewound the live show to watch myself jump out of my skin. I was just laughing at it for the entire live show. So too much reading done.
Yeah. Do you know what minute that was at? Because everyone needs to go back and literally watch Emily, and you see her, and she's like,
I literally go, whoa. I don't know what minute it was. I'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
The one time I actually read, so much happens.
So, Jackie, I hate to interrupt, but I actually have to go because I have a work thing.
Yeah, no problem.
I have a work Zoom I have to get on. So I just wanted to say, no, it's not. So I wanted to say thank you for having me on here. And
are you going to make it? Are you going to be able to make it next week?
Thursday at 7, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check my schedule.
Okay.
Of nothing.
Okay.
I'll see if I can pencil it in between nothing and nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there. It'll be cool.
So everybody that's watching will want to
thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Amy.
Where Kat, I think you're next.
So I got about 115 pages in, and I'm liking it so far, but I'm just scared to get to the point where you all said I wasn't gonna like it.
Oh no.
So far it's interesting and I'm intrigued.
I
like the the storyline of polygamy and stuff in there. I really like that. You'll have to watch my reading vlog when you're done then.
Yeah, I've been waiting to watch it. It keeps popping up in my recommended. I'm like, not yet.
Jackie,
stop pressuring me.
The fact that you actually did a reading vlog, I could only stomach a review.
The thing is I put out in the world that I'm gonna do the reading vlogs before I even know if I'm gonna like the book or not, and then I'm like, please let me like the book. Because I have to do it then. So yeah, You Are Not Alone was definitely rough for that reading vlog. The Wives wasn't as bad. It was pretty good actually. Molly, I think you're the last one, right? I think so.
I think so.
Okay.
I finished Q and it was great.
Nice.
It was really good. I would highly recommend. It comes out April 30th.
Wow, how did
so
I not know
everyone
about this?
get on it, 'cause it's really good. I didn't either until I was browsing through NetGalley one day, and I was like, I swear, because the cover's very similar in design to Vox, except it's yellow and black instead of red and black. So I was like, I swear I've seen a book like this before, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh. So yeah, that one was really good. And then I've just started Girl Serpent Thorns by Melissa Bashardouse, and I just read recently Girls Made of Snow and Glass, which has become one of my favorite books.
What did
so
you say
I
first?
knew I had to pick that one up.
Q?
Yeah, it's literally just the letter Q.
So it's called something else here. It's called Master Class, and it actually looks like Riley Sager's new book.
Ooh.
Oh, it does.
Like it literally even has like, you know how on Riley Sager's books it has like a novel in that like font on the side? Like this one literally has that exact same, like, you can't see it on there, but if you look it up, it's called Master Class. So that's weird how it's called two different things. And it actually doesn't come out for us until August 21st. That's really sad.
Oh. Yes, so this isn't the cover on it. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh,
but
wow.
That's not the actual cover, it says cover revealed soon.
Oh, okay.
But the actual, I'm trying to find the NetGalley one.
I'll have to look and see if I can.
Yeah, that's it on NetGalley.
Wow, that's so different than this one. That's so crazy. Wow.
Yeah. But
Well,
no, it
I'll
was
have
really
to look
good
up.
anyway. This,
Yeah.
on NetGalley it says publication date 30th of April.
Okay.
I'll
It
send
must
you
be
the link
published.
if I can, Jacqueline.
Maybe I can get it on Book Depository then if it published where you are first, because that's what happened with the Dilemma. It was published in like the UK first.
Yeah.
And so
well,
you
I'll
could
let
order
you
it.
know if it does actually come out April 30th.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, and then I started Girl Serpent Thorn, which is like a fairy tale, like a Persian fairy tale thing. She's written another book that was a Snow White retelling, which was incredible. So yeah.
Nice. Do you know what you're gonna rate the Q book yet?
I think 4.5. The ending was just slightly rushed for me to like not give it a full 5, but it wasn't enough to like not still love it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah,
but
totally makes sense.
Yeah, I was kind of like, when it was happening, I was like, wait, is the book ending now? Like, it was just kind of wrapped up very quickly, but yeah.
Well, cool. I'm adding it to my
4.5
TBR because it sounds really, really good. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, the premise is unlike anything I've ever read before. So
you said it was called Q?
Yeah, literally just the letter Q.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll find the Goodreads thing and I'll put it in our group chat.
Okay.
Cool.
I searched up Q and nothing came up.
Yeah, it's called a Master Class in the for the United States, I guess. Apparently, I don't know. It's so weird how they do that. I don't know why they do that. Why can't it be the same? Yeah. So I made it to page 137 in The Girl in 6E. So this is definitely a very fast read. I'm almost at the halfway point. And I don't know, it's just so different and weird. And like, it's so intriguing though, because like, it's really intriguing to read about like how this girl is making money, even though she's like locking herself in her apartment because she doesn't want to go out and kill everybody. And she's like been doing this for the last 3 years. And it's just interesting to read about her life, like her everyday life. It's weird because like nothing has happened, like literally nothing exciting has happened. It's not like a crazy thriller. It's just so interesting to read about like how she lives her life.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, so far that's all I've gotten to, but like, I think it's building up to like, I don't know, a romance or something with like the guy that delivers her packages. Cause like, I don't know, he's just like, he's never like seen her before because he just like drops off her packages at the door and like he signs for her because like she doesn't want to like open the door and then kill him. But he's like interested in her or just like seeing who she is because she's so mysterious or whatever. I don't know. There's like a couple different things that like might happen. I don't know. I'm just not there yet, but it's very interesting. It's a solid read so far. But it's also just like funny reading like some of the stuff. I was sharing sentences and like obviously things I can't say or YouTube's gonna kick me off. So we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, there's just funny sentences going on. But yeah. So let's see, in the comments, I was gonna go back up and see some people are reading Ninth House, which I actually do have that book and I want to read it. I'm just really scared.
It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm just scared because I don't read fantasy, but I'm gonna try it out this summer.
It's not like
I haven't finished it, but it's
hardcore fantasy though, because it's still set like, yeah, it's like set in America at Yale University. Like there's only like fantasy elements really.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I need to get started.
Yeah, it's not like in your face fantasy.
Yeah.
I agree with Molly because I like the only reason I haven't finished it was because the chapters were so long.
Yeah.
And so like I was at like page 90 and I was on chapter 4. I was
wow.
Oh my
But it's really great. Like when I finish it, I feel like it might be my favorite Lee Bardugo book.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's
so
can't find the
good,
flaw.
right? Oh,
amazing.
So good.
That's what I do like that. The Girl in 6E has like super short chapters. Like some of them are like 2 pages long. That's it. So that's kind of cool. Oh, someone's reading Lydia Bird and enjoying it. I just want to make sure I don't forget to read any of these before we close this down. Oh, she doesn't go outside because she doesn't want to kill someone. It seems like our situation. Yeah, actually. I think that's why it's intriguing for me to read because like, obviously if you have like a phobia of being like locked up in somewhere or like you've been quarantined for too long, you probably shouldn't read this book just because like she doesn't go anywhere and do anything. But it's very interesting for me to read right now. All right, well, it looks like we got through all the comments and we got through everybody and what they read. And so next, I think we're gonna just, for all of you guys watching, like, so you know, I think we're just going to leave it as an exact date and time for like the rest of however long we do this. So it's not gonna like switch around anymore. So I think that we decided that Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time were just the best for everybody. And then that way, you guys aren't missing out that are watching it and being like, oh, well, like, was it Thursday or was it Friday or was it the daytime or whatever it is. So Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you guys next week. And until all these ladies say, no, I don't want to join anymore, we'll probably do it once a week. Because I was like, well, I mean, we have nothing else to do at the moment. But I guess once we start going back to work and jobs, who even knows when, then once it starts dwindling down, then I'll let everybody know if the date is gonna change or time or whatever. So I guess we'll see you guys in a week, and thank you everybody for joining and watching and coming on here. I love getting messages. Like some of you guys have been sending me Instagram messages and like just saying how much you look forward to these. And that's just like really, really cool. So I'm really glad that a lot of you guys love, like it's just really cool that you guys look forward to like reading with us. That's just a really fun thing. So
yeah, no, that's so nice.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we will see you all next week. And don't forget that everybody's links are down in the description box. So if you haven't subscribed to any of these ladies, definitely go and check them out so that you don't miss any of their new videos that are coming out. So yeah. I guess we'll all say goodbye, but don't hop off yet because we chat before we exit out of the whole thing. So
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye everyone.